Hi. In this video, I want to show you a couple of the skills that you may want to explicitly teach your students as you begin the year in virtual learning and then as you transition into HyFlex learning. So what you feel is best for you to teach your students depending on their developmental age, as well as the content that you're teaching and the way that you organize your Zoom classes, that's going to be highly variable depending on your teaching context. However, there's just a couple things to think about. So I actually have my video pinned right now. That's one of them. So I'm actually the student here on my laptop. My iPad is the host, and I have an extra guest in here just to give us a greater sense of how many how many boxes there might be that we're working with. So as a student, I have far fewer buttons along the bottom. I can mute and unmute myself. I can stop my video at any time. I have the option to chat, or I can make the chat window go away. Notice when I click, it goes away, click, it appears. I have the participants panel as well, which I can click away or click back on. I have, all these options. So some of the things to think about: teaching your students to raise their hand. This may make a lot of sense in a fully distance learning model. However, when you move into HyFlex, where you're going to have room students and Zoom students, it might be really challenging to see when those hands are raised on the screen. So this is when we would want to explicitly teach students how to politely interrupt by clicking their unmute button so that they can interrupt the conversation to ask their question if they haven't, if you haven't had a chance to see them with their hand raised. Other things you might want to teach your students are how to switch between speaker view and gallery view. Right now, we're in gallery view. That's why I'm seeing all the boxes. They're equal shaped. Everybody kind of is getting the same amount of screen time. Obviously, I've got those two static images there. But if I switch to speaker view, the active speaker will actually switch and take over. The only reason that's not working for me right now is because my devices are so close together. But my video in any other scenario would be this big one instead of that picture, that static image of me. But you want to teach the students how to switch back and forth between speaker view and gallery view. That might be something that's helpful to them. It'll make the big picture the one whoever is actively talking. Something else that might be really helpful for students is for them to select maybe one video that they want to have pinned. That makes it the big video, and it makes everybody else part of this film strip of thumbnails at the top. That might be useful for students in case they want to pin perhaps just the teacher, even if the teacher has not spotlighted him or herself. So these are just a couple things to think about. And of course, some of the fun things to think about: Zoom has added reactions. So we now have clap hands, thumbs up, heart, laughing so hard that we're crying, surprised face, and something that we're going to celebrate. So those are, some fun things to think about too. And maybe, some use cases for those icons might be something fun to build into the class culture. So I hope that this information was helpful, and you know what to do if you have any questions.